Hello, and welcome to MovieSong.
The Reagan Revolution ushered in a new decade, as 60s idealism and 70s malaise got swept aside. For now, it was morning in America. Yuppies proclaimed greed was good, and Ted Turner gave us the 24-hour news cycle.
To provide information to people.
On December 8th, precious blood spilled at the Dakota. You see, the year was 1980, and the film was all New York City all the time. The title of the soundtrack packed clubs and bars, and a generation called out, "Don't you know who I am?" The time was bold, without shame, and both the movie and the song demanded. With Eddie Barth, Irene Cara, Lee Carrere, Laura Dean, Antonia Francesi, Boyd Gaines, Albert Haig, Tracy Hughes, Steve Inwood, Paul McCrane, Ann Mira, Joanna Merlin, Barry Miller, Jim Moody, Jean Anthony Ray, and Maureen Teefy. Directed by Alan Parker. Produced by David DeSilva and Alan Marshall.
So, Rich, tell me what the movie Fame is all about.
You got a bunch of teenagers looking to get into the High School of Performing Arts right here in Manhattan. It's a total time capsule.
And the time period is 1980. You get to see Midtown, you get to see Times Square.
Subways.
You get to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You get to see some of the problems that are happening in the Bronx and difficulties of living in the city. How does director Alan Parker treat this film and convey what he wants to convey?
I think he does a lot of showing. It's like he just shows things. So it's this collection of moving snapshots. And it starts with the auditions. So you've got dancers dancing, they're stretching, warming up. You got violinists, they're strumming away, and people reviewing their lines. So you go from audition to freshman year to sophomore year to junior year to senior year, just like high school.
Beyond witnessing these students' day-to-day lives within the High School of the Performing Arts, director Alan Parker certainly addresses larger issues.
Well, skipping to the obvious is fame, but they never address why the students want fame. It's kind of like a given. Fame, I'm going to live forever. But through all this, if you're going to go to School of Performing Arts Creative Types in Manhattan, you're going to come across homosexuality. And this is early 80s, so it's pre-AIDS. They don't even know that's upon them yet.
And multiculturalism, Rich. It's amazing the cast and the representation of how multicultural the student body was all the way back in 1980.
Yes, and it's prestigious to get into this school. So you got the ballet dancer, the wealthy father.
And you've got kids getting in the school from the South Bronx that are coming from very, very humble situations. It's an ensemble cast. Nobody dominates the movie, but the film definitely catapulted Irene Cara to fame.
Right.
She has a charisma that's just perfect for the role.
And then you got Lee Carrere, and he's Bruno Martelli. He's the keyboard player. He's got the dad who drives a taxi cab.
Right, and he also ostensibly writes the song Fame.
Yes, that's right. And he kind of makeshifts hot lunch. Jean Anthony Ray plays Leroy, and he's struggling with illiteracy. He can only read a little bit, but he's a great dancer.
I told you I'd done it and I forgot it.
My hearing is fine. It's your homework that's missing.
So Ann Mira really plays perhaps the most complicated character in the film.
Yeah, and she's like the only reminder of it as a school. Like, you got to go to school. Like they tell you early on, if you're coming here for performing arts, you still got to take history or science, mathematics, and English, and that's what she teaches.
So, Rich, who else is in the movie?
We got the guy who went on to be in RoboCop, which I think is pretty cool. His name's Paul McCrane.
Yeah, he plays a young man that's struggling with his sexuality, and it's a very genuine look at what somebody might go through.
Gay used to mean such a happy kind of word once.
So we got this movie fame and this song fame. And so which came first?
We start with a gentleman by the name of David DeSilva, and he's managing talent, but obviously he wants to be a producer. So he's out at a show one night, a chorus line.
5, 6, 7, 8, and turn, touchdown, backstep.
During the show, one of the songs is referencing the High School of the Performing Arts. So bingo, he realizes he has an idea that might have some legs. So he takes his idea down to Florida and engages a writer by the name of Christopher Gore. He downloads some ideas about themes that he would like covered in the movie, and Christopher Gore writes the script.
For like $5,000.
$5,000, that's it. They take it to Hollywood and they sell it.
Bam! Like that.
From there, the studio attaches director Alan Parker. And Parker's coming off of 2 feature films. The first was Bugsy Malone.
That's got Jodie Foster and Scott Baio, and they're they're kids and they're playing gangsters.
And this is a relatively low-budget film in Britain. And after that, Parker goes on and does something completely different with Midnight Express.
Brad Davis.
Yeah, I remember seeing that film at the theater when I was a kid, and it impressed me greatly. Then he gets contacted by the studio, and they give him fame. Alan Parker is really remarkable in the depth and breadth of the human experience that he portrays in his films.
He like, it looks like The Wall. He did Pink Floyd The Wall.
He did The Wall, he did Birdie, he did Evita, he did The Commitments. Just a remarkable array of films.
And he's not only able to understand it, but he's able to portray it without really taking sides.
He shows it.
He's got a gift. And music is important in all of his films. As far as the genesis of the song, Rich, David De Silva wanted something that was very Donna Summer.
Get your roller skates.
So he went to Giorgio Moroder, who had worked with Donna Summer. He also contacted Jeff Lynne of ELO because Parker is a huge ELO fan.
Hello?
Both of them turned it down.
So he gets in touch with Michael Gore for the music.
Who was working with Dean Pitchford for the lyrics. Irene Cara delivers the song. Luther Vandross arranges the backing vocals. And there's an amazing guitar solo that sounds like Eddie Van Halen that's done by Elliot Crandall. Rich, I think there's at least 5 great scenes in this film.
Yeah, you said that. I don't know if I have the same 5, but I know one is definitely the audition scene. And then there's the scene in the cafeteria.
Well, that's the hot lunch scene.
Yes.
And what struck me was that Irene Cara gives us a preview of Jennifer Beals in Flashdance.
I think the guy coming out was a pretty great scene. And then you got the final graduation. I see the body electric.
And I would add the flash mob scene where they sing the song Fame on the streets of New York City, and it's a blast. And the other scene that struck me was that Parker shot at the 8th Street Playhouse for Rocky Horror. And the way it plays is almost like a Fellini film. Rich, if you wanted to, you could view Fame through the lens of an art film.
You really can. We said it here.
So put on your art glasses.
Your black turtleneck
next
sweater.
sweater. Do this with your drink.
Right.
And the next time that somebody tells you that Fame is not an art film,
Make them watch it.
Make them
watch it. There's something very Richard Avedon about it.
And with that, Rich, let's take it to the Academy Awards.
Oh!
So, Rich, will you read for us the nominees
Yes.
for Best Original Song for a Motion Picture in the year 1980?
We got Fame from Fame. Music by Michael Gore. Lyrics by Dean Pitchford.
Baby, hold me tight.
We've got 9 to 5 from 9 to 5. Music and lyrics by Dolly Parton.
Out of bed and I stumbled to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn.
We've got On the Road Again from Honeysuckle Rose. Music and lyrics by Willie Nelson.
Like a man that as we go down the highway.
Out Here on My Own. Again from Fame. Music by Michael Gore. Lyrics by Leslie Gore.
We're always proving.
And then People Alone from The Competition. Music by Lalo Schifrin. Lyrics by Wilbur Jennings.
People alone may go very fast.
And now for the winners.
Michael Gore and Dean Pitchford for Fame.
Hey. Well, they definitely deserved it. It was a great soundtrack, but really, Rich, it was a really good year.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton with 9 to 5. Willie Nelson, On the Road Again. Both of those songs definitely live today. And next time we're coming at you with a piece from the 90s. So it's MovieSong 90s. So subscribe, like, comment.
Comment.
You know what the drill is. And
That's it.
from MovieSong.